Good evening, all dear students. The trainer is going to join back as he is having some technical issue. I request please be waited. We'll be starting in 2 to 3 minutes. Please inform your friends to join the session as soon as possible. Before we start, as we have very less participants, before we start, kindly inform your friends to join the session.
Yes, I could able to log in now. Hi, my dear students. Hope you're all doing good. Unfortunately, I had a big technical issue, and all of a sudden, my internet conked badly. So, yes, we'll kickstart a session, my dear friends. Hope you guys are doing good on a fine Monday. And thanks for logging in and coming in with great Josh, my dear youngsters. I'll kickstart my session. Yes, today we'll look into corporate, let's say, I call this corporate etiquette, under which we call it as business writing or email writing is what I'm going to start today, and then slowly connect on to the interview skills and all that. So these are two lovely areas where I want you youngsters to be so good with your approach and all that. First of all, my dear youngsters, as a prospective candidate looking into your writing skills, there are few companies which can look out for your writing skills. For example, companies like Sutherland, companies like Hexaware. Earlier, it was TCS. They had an email writing task to be done and all that. Okay, so still, it is Accenture sometimes does that. I knew it. So still, this becomes a very good area for HRs to test your capabilities on the language skills. So writing skills does matters, my dear youngsters. Okay. Having said this, um, okay, I'll ask you guys. Okay, rather than me asking you, okay, first of all, let's make certain things very clear about the differentiation between letter writing and email writing first. Okay, so letter writing, as it is, as many of you must be aware, slowly it's going away, okay, as a habit, to be honest. So email writing has taken over, okay, letter writing these days. And please understand, email writing and texting on the mobile phones these days have diminished letter writing as such. So looking forward to email writing. You have so many companies around, and literally every other companies, they run their even their leave management system through internet. I mean, when I talk about internet, definitely it's email and all that. So all the reporting, everything, it goes through internet, through emails and all that. So email writing, if you're strong with email writing, I'm so sure you guys can definitely do wonders as you progress into your career and all that. So first of all my youngsters, to begin with, emails, electronic mails. Okay. Do you know who's the founder of emails? Any idea, guys? Who's the founder of emails? Any idea? Let's see who can give it a go. Ask you a question. Who's the founder of email? Who can answer that? I did ask you who's the founder of emails. Come on, youngsters. Can you all get that down?
Students, I think there is some the network issue. I request please be waited. He will rejoin back.
Hi everybody, hope I'm audible and my video is good now. Unfortunately, I'm still going through this particular internet issue out here. It is quite sad. I don't know. Okay, still, I hope you guys can hear me up.
Yeah, yes, sir, you're audible.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. My dear students, I did raise you all a question about who's the founder of. Thank you so much for your replies, guys. Who's the founder of emails? Um, it's like connecting, okay, through a mail between two systems and all that. The first time ever it happened, quite way back into 70s, my dear youngsters. His name was Roy Tomlinson. His name was Mr. Roy Tomlinson, was officially given this particular, let's say, title of founder of emails when he connected two systems and a message was transferred between those two systems. That's what called as, okay, email. And there's one more gentleman from India. His name is called as Shiva Ayadurai. Okay, I think in the year 1978 or so, he claimed that he was the first person to discover something called as, okay, email writing, again sending messages across systems and all that. Okay, so just want to let you know the background about email writing a little for you guys. Okay, I mean the founders and all that. Talking about, I did discuss about those companies which looks forward for your email writing as a round for selection and all that. And I'll move on, guys. I'll start off by giving you typically a question in which how email writing as a question can be challengingly asked at you guys. Um, okay, what I want you youngsters to do is I'm going to type in the question for you guys on the chat box. Just have a fair look at it and see how best you guys can able to give a reply. Okay, on a particular, let's say, question about email writing. Please pay attention here. So youngsters, write an email to the client. This is a typical question asked in TCS few years back. Okay, I'm just reflecting the same to you guys. Write an email to the client as there was a power outage and 3 days it'll take, okay, it'll take to restore the power. Let's understand because of a cyclone. So I'm just giving it to you in brackets about because of cyclone. Okay, and let's say you're the project, let's say you are heading the project and you know the client. You're the project manager, you're the PM, and you know the client. You are a PM. I'm just writing in short forms. You are a PM, means project manager. And let's say you know the client well, you know the client. And let's say the client's name is, okay, the most famous name happening right now. Okay, let's say the client's name is, which name can I give it to you guys? Okay, Donald Trump. Okay, let's take him a little. Okay, so yeah, Donald Trump. Now, I want you youngsters to give a fair go. Okay, I want you all to just write down the body of the email. How do you think you can draft an email? This is a question that I'm raising it up initially to you guys. Yeah, just go through this particular question which I asked you. Please make sure that you guys, okay, I want two aspects. Number one, my dear youngsters, I want you youngsters to write the subject first. Okay, write a subject. What you're going to write, you'll have to always give a good hint about what's going to come up in the mail. Always pay attention to your subject. Okay, in the mail, in the email, I'm sorry. And then the body, how you'll write. Okay, I write an email, guys. Okay, write an email. And you can just post it up on your chat box itself, no problem. Somebody give it a try, please. I mean, I think few of you guys can definitely do it. I mean, almost all is what my reckoning. But I want you youngsters to give it a go, please. First, let's try with subject. I want you to look into the subject. Somebody give an idea how the subject should be. For this particular question, how do you write the subject? Let's go to the email a little later. First, let's fix the first thing first, subject. How do you write the subject there? Give it a go, guys. Come on. So, so many people logged in already. Tejaswini, Tashi, okay, Raja, Chinnu, Kamlesh, Kanan, Sridhar. So many of you guys, come on. Mubin, Sherlin, come on, guys. How do you write the subject? I'm waiting for your answer. Come on, youngsters. Give it a try, my youngsters. Don't worry. Let's learn quick upon it. Okay, Saranya gave a response. Delay in deliverables due to cyclone. Related power outage. Okay, Saranya and others, I really want you to pay attention. Always go with the root cause effect. It's just the other way around what you've done, Saranya, here. Okay. Why didn't you come to college? Okay, you say, I couldn't come to college because I had some issues. Okay, so think about it. If it's a root cause effect, why are you so late for the class? Okay, I'm late, sir. No, that's not the answer. Okay, you have to find the root, explain the cause. It'll be good, my dear youngsters. I want you to pay attention. Why are you late for the class? For example, okay, there was a delay. Okay, there was an accident in the way that I came. That's the root cause. And the effect is I came late because of that. So always go with this logic, my dear friends, in a sequential order. I call it as a sequential order. Okay, so don't jumble up here and there. Saranya, through you, I'm training you. I mean, I'm giving you this information to all of you. So let's understand what's the root cause and try to go with it, by the way. Okay, so rather writing, okay, delay in deliverables due to cyclone, related power outage. Okay, listen, you can start with power outage hyphen delay in project because of cyclone. So this is the best way that I can let you know, my dear friends. I repeat, okay. Or you can still, if you want to go to the root cause of it, okay, cyclone, put a hyphen. You can say power outage, okay, cyclone power outage. So delay in project. You can even try this way. Okay, cyclone power outage, so delay in project. Okay, and so go with a particular order is what I'm saying. Something so quite logical. Suddenly, what you've done is a decent try. Okay, it's just that I'm trying to put that in perspective. That's all, in an orderly manner. Okay, cyclone hyphen power outage. So people can associate, okay, because of cyclone, there's a power outage. So delay in project. Okay. So that itself will give a clear idea what's coming ahead in the mail, my dear youngsters. Okay. Now, giving you guys a heads up how to go about with this particular kind of an, let's say, email with this particular news. Is it a positive news or a negative news for the client? Can you guys quickly answer? Is it positive or negative for the clients? Can you all get me a good answer? Is it a positive or a negative news for the client? Could somebody answer, guys? Is it a positive or a negative news? Do you think any client will be happy about, okay, when there's a delay in project? None of them, my dear friends, none of them. So no doubt it is a negative aspect. Okay. Now this is where I want you youngsters to be, I mean, to be more creative. Okay. So I would rather suggest you, my youngsters, that rather than starting like a typical mail, okay, this is where I want you all to come and put your presence of mind in a good manner. And always, my youngsters, please give. Uh, um, I mean, I always say this: respect is always given and taken. And clients, I must let you know, my friends, are the real paymasters. I repeat what I said: clients are the real paymasters for organizations. I want you guys to pay attention. Clients are the real paymasters for the organizations. So clients have to be taken care so well. Okay. So having kept this in mind, okay, it's quite unfortunate. Let's say if there's a power outage means there's some serious collapse in the grid and all that. Okay. So that's why there's no power at all. And this is not under the organization's control. Try to understand all these points. It's not under organizational control. They'll be having backup, my dear friends. They'll be having backup of power supply and all that. Okay. But they can't run for 3 days. I'm actually 3 days in a trot, or it can be extended and all that. Okay. So let's say a situation like now, okay, even to run a generator of a, let's say you're handling a huge project, and that, I mean, to procure diesel, okay, to procure diesel can be a big task at this point of time with the current geopolitics right now. Okay. So procuring diesel can still be an issue. So look at the way it's cornered out. Okay. And since you're a project manager and the project is getting delayed and you're working for the organization, so you need to take into all these into consideration. Okay. And try to give a beautiful reply so that the client can really understand, okay, the reason behind, okay, the power outage, all of that. Okay. So the client will be so pushed up to check, is there a way that we can start the operations and all that? Okay. So I'm going to give you, let's say, the answer for how best, okay, we can able to give a reply for this one. Okay. So always, my dear friends, I told you, let's say that the client's name is Donald Trump here. So always give respect and take respect, my dear friends. Okay. I would always suggest you, my youngsters, even if it's a formal mail, start with someone whom you're addressing as dear, Mr. If it's a man, of course, if it's a woman, based on their marital status, try and address that way. So here it's Donald Trump. So we can write, Dear Mr. Donald Trump. The first and foremost learning, okay, with this, my dear youngsters, is that, okay, make sure that you guys are writing, if you're adding, listen to me, Mr. Donald Trump as a full name, okay, it is the best way to really address. And the next best one is Mr. Trump. Listen to me, Mr. Trump. Guys, I'm telling you something which I don't know how many of you know about this. Okay, it is it is quite not an acceptable practice that you call, okay, that you call a valuable client with their first name. They can't go, Dear Donald. Okay, uh, the two best way to start okay, with giving titles in front of people and all that, is these two. Are these two, my dear guys? Okay. I'm saying a strict no for, okay, a strict no for dear Donald. This I'm telling you guys, okay, irrespective of the fact if it's American or British or be it anywhere, always try to address people with respect. Okay, so let's try to understand that and let's address this way, please. Okay, I don't know how many of you observed, if you could have observed a Western person, a West people from the West, they always have two names, sometimes even middle names. Okay, first name and the last name. I want you to pay attention. The first name is their real name. The last name is their family name, my dear youngsters. Family name. For example, um, all, let's say, I mean, let's say the family of is what's his wife's name? I forgot now. Okay, let's say you have Bill Gates. Melinda Gates is the wife of Bill Gates. Of course, they're not living together these days. Okay, please understand the name Gates, the family name, is kept for everybody at the end of the names. But the first name changes. For example, Melinda, Bill, Clark, like that. Okay. So yes, yes. So this particular habit of addressing people like this, it's either dear Mr. full name or dear Mr. last name. That's what I want you all to understand with this particular logic. Okay. Don't write, okay, the client, I mean, even if it's a client, don't take the client a little granted by simply calling dear Donald and all that. Okay. If you're that close, you can address your friends as hey, dear Rahul and all that. Okay. But then that's the first name again. Please understand, okay? Dear Donald is a strict no still when it comes to email writing, my dear friends. Try to understand. Number one, okay? I'm moving on. Okay. Greetings, my dear friends. I really want you all to always greet, okay, people when you're addressing important people, okay, in a mail. For example, my dear friends, let's say this client, let's say Donald Trump is in the US and we are in India. And guys, we are at least 10 to 13 hours. Okay, there's a difference that we are ahead of them and they're following us. Okay. So if you ask me, my friends, now it's let's say it's almost 7:50 p.m. out here. In the US, it can be okay, it is yesterday and they're behind us, and the time is approximately around 'Hi guys, hope I'm back. There's there's some email issue still running around in my place. My sincere apologies on that. Can you guys able to hear me? Can you guys ping yes on the chat box, my friends? It goes and comes off without my knowledge. I don't know why. Thank you guys. Okay. Now still pay attention. I told you about how to greet. Now listen, I'm sorry, I'm just telling you about how to greet. Pay attention, my friends. So we don't know what time zone is this foreign client and all that. A little, if you're not unsure about it, please don't write good morning generally, my friends. If you write good morning right now for a person in the US, okay, it is almost good night to them. Try to understand. Let's say it's good evening now for us, okay? Back in the US, it can be good morning. It's totally strange and opposite. So when somebody opens up the mail right now, when you wished on the email, okay, let's say good evening, and that is good morning to them. So it won't sound good, isn't it? The best way, I'll give you a standardized and a good way. I want you all to manage this one. Greetings for the day, guys. Keep this in mind. Greetings for the day. Now, this is a common phrase where it can be applicable for anyone, anybody around the world. Greetings for the day. Yeah, Pradeep, thanks for your sincere try. I'll go through this. Subject outage issue because of cyclone. Yeah, dear Mr. Trump, greetings for the day. Okay, so you greeted the client for the day now. Okay. Now listen to me, guys. So we go in an orderly manner. Okay, first we addressed with respect. Now we greet them. Okay, for the day and all that. Now get into the business, my friends. Now this is where I want your thinking brain to think so well and try to address. Though it's a negative news, I don't want you youngsters to start off on a negative tone. Don't start off, don't start on a negative tone. Always, I'll say this, my dear friends. Okay. Do not start off the negative tone. Okay. Keep this in your mind. Always be a little smart in starting your email. For example, just starting off the project. We are looking into the body of the email right now. Hope you guys can still hear me up. Can you still ping on the chat box quick, guys? Can you all? Thank you so much. Still pay attention, my friends. Okay. Uh, you can start off on a positive note, my guys, is what I'm requesting you all to do. Um, so far, you can start like this. Oh my goodness. So far, project X is progressing. Sorry, has progressed as per the client's requirement. Client's apostrophe S, client's requirements. Okay. Guys, I want you to pay attention. Look at the way that I'm just can okay open up an email, though it is a negative news. So for the project X has progressed as per the client's requirements. It is to make sure, okay, it is to give an idea that okay, the project was per comma because we're going to stay change the context now. Unfortunately, okay, if you want, if you're a little smart, okay, has progressed, give a percentage. Let's say 63 percentage. Okay, project progression as per the client's requirements without any delays. If you want to bring in that without any delays, now you start. Unfortunately, a massive cyclone. Look at the word I'm using. A massive cyclone collapsed. I want you guys to observe a massive cyclone collapsed. Okay. Electricity. If you want to use power systems, people can understand. power systems. Okay. Unfortunately, I said a massive cyclone collapsed power systems here. I want you guys to please pay attention. Because of which, look at the way I'm connecting. Because of which there's a power outage. And though there's a problem here, okay, this is called as crisis management as well. I want you guys to observe. This is also called as crisis management. Okay. We've explored options of power backup. Power backup. Okay, I want you guys to observe. We have explored the option of power backup. Okay, I'm just gonna put a comma again with the current geopolitical issues. Geopolitical issues. I want you guys to pay attention with the current geopolitical issues. Availability of availability of is difficult. Okay, availability of diesel is difficult. Okay, so my goodness, I'm extremely sorry about it. I tender my apologies again. This is not expected of it. I've never had such an issue because I've been taking online classes for quite some time. I'm so totally upset about the whole internet issue, what I'm going through right now. I'm gonna okay, it also says your internet connection is unstable at this point of time. Hope am I audible to all of you guys? Thank you so much. Guys, am I audible? Bad. It sounds like it disappeared. It cannot take a copy of it. Anyways, guys, I stopped at a point where we candidly expressed what has happened at oh it is this is where you'll have to come in as a project manager, okay, and give them a word of assurance. Word of assurance. Guys, listen, there's a difference between okay, a manager or a damager. Listen to my words. Manager or a damager. As I want you to observe, I said damager. A manager is a constructive person operating and all that. Okay. So how best you constructively of action for the crisis, for the crisis. Okay. Come out. It's not guys reporting problem with guys will have to bear with this issue today, my friends. Unfortunate we're going through this, and I still want you all to pay attention, my youngsters. Okay, I was giving you a good idea about um, between a manager, a constructive manager, and a damager. Reporting, but reporting a negative news with a constructive approach is what I want you all to have it. That's what exactly I was teaching you, my friends. Wherein, okay, my youngsters, 3 days of work loss here. 3 days of work loss. Now pay attention, my youngsters. Okay, 3 days of work loss is there. Okay, that means obviously 3 days of delay will happen to complete the project. Okay, 3 days of work loss we need to fight out now. Okay, so this is what the major problem right now. Okay, um, behind the scenes it's all about the power problem and all that because of cyclone. But for the organization, there's a 3 days of loss, and this has to be compensated. I want you guys to understand how I'm taking you all through. This has to be compensated. Okay. Now listen, being a manager, okay, you should give a word of assurance to the client as to how do you tackle this work loss. Okay, this is where again I want you to please pay good attention. So, okay, you can give an assurance like this that okay, the project look how I'm going to take it up. Irrespective of the work loss that we had now, I can still, I mean, again, no, we can still assure you project completion deadline will be met with effective operation strategy. Listen to my words. Operations strategy. With effective operations strategy. Okay. Now, what to be done? We have to please let know the client. Okay. Now, we can increase the number of, this is the solution. This is the real solution. Explaining a problem is anybody can do. Okay. We can increase the head count in the project to meet the time deadline. Please understand that. That means I'm increasing the number of people deployed in the project. If it is 100, I'll go with another 107 or 108, extra 7 or 8 resources allocated to make sure the work loss can be balanced overall. This is strategizing. I hope you guys are following me well, guys. Okay. So, else with the current team, we'll ask the current team to work for 3 Saturdays extra. Okay. Listen to this one. 3 Saturdays extra. Guys, usually if you go work in any IT companies, my friends, it's Monday to Friday. Okay. So we can expect, since there's a tragedy, so we need to have a strategy in picture. So we can strategize these ways. The first option I've given to you already, my friends, by ramping up the project numbers a little bit. The next idea, what I'm trying to give you is the current, if there's, let's say, we don't have extra people to be deployed, we can gently tell them, okay, we can extend the work on Saturdays. Okay, that means these 3 Saturdays people have to work extra to compensate, and still the deadline can be met. Look at the options that I'm trying to give to the client. Okay, based on the requirements inside the organization and all that. Okay, please keep this in mind. Or we'll ask our employees to work for, let's say, 1.5 hours, okay, 1.5 hours extra, okay, every day. And a right compensation can be given to them as well, okay? Look at the options being explored. And these are the ways we're strategizing to ensure the project deadline will be met and will not go behind the project dates. Am I clear? So please understand, I've given you three solutions, okay, as of now. You can choose the best, which one would you prefer, okay, and you project it in front of the client, okay, and now it's time for showing some gratitude, okay. Thanks for the kind understanding for so long, and I'm sure you can accept our strategy to overcome this power outage issue. Full stop. This is how I want you youngsters to take it up. And when it comes to signing off, I want you to observe, guys. When it comes to signing off, okay. If you think the client may not be that happy still, okay, the word of assurance is already given, okay. We can you can still put in a word if you still feel the client may not be happy about it, okay. As per our agreement, we'll make sure we will not go beyond our time deadline. That this can give you, because we are taking the let's say a hint about the agreement that we signed earlier about the time deadlines and all that. So we'll still make sure that we don't exceed the time limit and all that. Okay, give that particular word of assurance in a grand manner, guys. Okay, we again. Okay, and when you sign off, I've seen people writing best regards. I would say I want you guys to rather stick on to regards. Warm regards, I'm saying no. Okay. First option, just regards, followed by a name. Okay. And your designation. I'm serious about this. With the company information about your emails, okay, the company address. People always, it follows below your names and all that. Okay. So maintain this kind of a strategic way of approach than being simply writing a mail like texting somebody. Okay, we had a rain, no school, no college, and all that. No, it has to be well thought over, and you guys have to present it in a manner where somebody reads through should understand the gravity of the situation and try to accept, okay, this is the problem, let's take it up in a good manner. Okay, I hope you guys have understood the way I strategize this particular email, and I'll give you some more things, my dear friends. On the subject front, don't exceed 6 to 10 words, my dear friends. I want you to observe. These are all international standards that I'm trying to teach you on the subject front. Don't go beyond 10 words. Okay. And on the email, don't please exceed, okay, I would say at least stick on to 60 to 100 words. Don't go beyond that. Because if you go 100 plus words, it'll look like, let's say, it'll look like a letter writing. Guys, do you understand me so far, guys? If you have any doubts, you can throw your questions at me now. If you have any questions to answer, I'm more than happy to help you guys. Thanks for the continuous understanding and support offered to us. We appreciate that sincerely. You can use such words, always good. Hey, remember, guys, I did not ask for sorry. Do you understand me? I did ask you about apologies here. Do you understand? Look at the word usage here. Okay, apology is much more formal than sorry. Okay, when you say sorry, the blame is on you, more or less. Here, the blame is not on you. It is on, let's say, a natural calamity where you can't say have a say on it. Okay, that's why we tender an apology. Okay, hope you guys get me. So I'll move on to the next learning of it, my dear friends. Okay, so that's a sample of email writing. I'm still requesting if you guys have any questions to, okay, give it to me. Yeah, I mean, if you want to ask with me, you can go ahead, type in your questions, guys. Come on. If you want any more clarity, I'm still okay to give it to you guys. Any questions? Are you clear, guys? So far, whatever I taught you upon, okay, a structure of an email from starting from, okay, okay, starting with greetings and all that, okay, okay, addressing with the right words initially with Mr. family name and all that, okay, greetings, and then how to start an email. Always give values, okay, when you write your mails based on the gravity of the situation. Try to explain to them in an orderly manner, okay. That's why I taught you about root cause systems, I mean, root cause and all that, effect, root cause and effect and all that for you guys. Just to give an idea, okay, and how to end it with a word of assurance, all of that, okay. When there's an issue, you have to do that. Okay. And we also strategize for the tragedy happened. Tragedy, strategy. Look at that one. Okay. So we gave solution to the problem. Okay. And it should be a workable one. It cannot be just a blind one. Okay. I've seen managers writing, so kindly extend 3 days of, you know, deadline and all that. That's not a true manager. That's a true damager. Okay. Try to understand the importance of clients, requirements, and stick on to it, and you deliver it that way. That is a true project manager's call, my dear friends. I'm still requesting. Is there any other questions that you guys might have? If no, I'm moving on, my dear friends. Okay, now I still want you to observe. Now, guys, the next thing which I'm going to teach you today is how to approach interviews. I want you all to observe so carefully, guys. From now on, it's more practical again. Whatever I teach you so practically. Is what does the word interview stands for? Do you have any idea? What do you mean by the term interview? Just come out with your answers, my dear friends. I want to observe. Come on, youngsters. The moment you think about interview, what comes to your mind, guys? Come on. Can I get a response here, guys? Quick. Come on, guys. I want you all to respond out here. There's so many of you there. Anybody can, please. I want sessions to be always engaging. I want you guys to participate a lot. Okay. Don't be a passive student out there, guys. Come on. Be more active. Try to challenge us with questions and all that. You can learn extra. Suddenly ask wrong attachment sent. How will you correct it? If it is delivered at the client's end, Saranya raised a question. If it's wrong attachment attached and sent to the client or sent to someone, okay, how will you correct it? If it is delivered, no the go. Again, listen, okay. If it is an error, let's accept it. If it's an error from your end, let's first accept it with a great heart. Accept it first, okay? And tender an apology, guys. Again, I'm telling you, I don't want you guys to use the term called as sorry. Tender an apology, okay, as it happened by mistake. Thanks for this question, Saranya. Tender an apology as it happened by mistake. Okay, let's accept that first. Okay, by mistake, and give an assurance. Such a mistake, okay, we can assure you that such a mistake will never ever happen again, will never ever happen again, as happen again, as will okay, we will have a system in place to curb means to stop, to curb such an occurrence. Okay, that's the reply, Saran, that I want you guys to, okay. give it out to the client or the customer, whomsoever it is. Guys, can I tell you one more logic out here, guys? I do not know how many of you know about this. I have seen in my own eyes some major companies have lost contracts just because they have written poor emails to the customers. I'm not going to pick those names here because it's a confidential data. I don't want to, I can't, I mean, as a professional, I can't share, but I can tell you these are all big IT companies. They have lost contracts worth millions of dollars just because they were handling poor emails with customers and clients and all that. I know for a fact. Okay. So make sure that you guys are good with your words, always be kind, approaching, and all of that. Okay. So, Saranya, did you understand that? Saranya, I've given you the body again to you. See, first we accepted that's an error, and next we'll give an assurance how best we can make sure that such an event doesn't happen again by keeping a system in place. Because I know, my friends, there are few, let's say, organizations initially, not now, they had a problem. They had such problems. Okay. Sometimes vaguely people send mails without even attachments and all that. Okay. And that can irk a client. Irk means that can be a little pain point for a client and all that, or a customer. Okay. So that was taken care of. Okay. By once a particular mail is drafted, it will be sent to the immediate boss, and that particular person will immediately check the entire mail if everything is all right, and then give an approval, okay, if it's attached and all that, and then they'll send the mail. So such kind of systems are kept in place to make sure such an error doesn't happen again. Okay. So so this is how we should respond to such questions, my friends. I did ask you all, now moving on, about interviews. Okay, the word interview. The first and the foremost thing, as youngsters, I want you all to have this, bear it in your mind strong. It is a selection process. Number one word that I have for you guys. It's a selection process. Don't you ever think about it's a rejection process. That's a negative minded person's approach. Always be stay positive. Of course, there's going to be rejections. You're going to see the other side of the coin. Many times, my friends, if you have a negative approach, the answer or the reply or the outcome can be negative. So I don't want you youngsters to get into that level at all. Rather, I want you youngsters to portray always a positive image and approach anything in at positive levels and all that. Because I'll tell you, I'm sure some of you could have faced already some rejections in terms of internships and all that. I know one of my student kept on trying for the internship with a particular company. 73rd time he got a reply for the internship. He was so relentless, was getting back and forth. Every time he approached it honestly, never, showed an attitude, oh, I've been writing so long with you, you guys are not responding. No, he kept on trying until he got a very good internship offer by the 73rd time. And one of my students got it that way. So relentlessness and you keep approaching back and forth should always be there, my dear friends. Don't give up that easily. Okay. You may never know for the kind of effort what you take, there's something the universe can give back to you. So please don't restrict your tries and all that. Okay. I'm moving on, my dear friends. I told you interview is a selection process. The term inter again means between. Listen to me, my youngsters. Between. View, looking at each other's perspective. It's not just one way. It's again either ways, looking at each other's perspective. Okay. Guys, please understand. You have a perspective as well. A recruiter has their own perspective, and it should all match at a good, you know, plane and all that. Okay. So that's what we need to make sure. Okay. And my dear youngsters, um, okay, there are two types of interviews. One is HR personal interview, and the other one is technical interview. If you guys are technically oriented, you'll be having technical interviews. It doesn't matter whichever the domain, it's domain specific. Okay, I'm going to start off with the general interview aspects. I want you to pay attention, my dear friends. Now, I'm going to start with FAQs. FAQs. I hope you know what's FAQ. What is it? What is an FAQ, guys? Can somebody ping what is an FAQ? What's an FAQ? Who can answer that? Come on, youngsters. I want you all to be so productive here. Nobody knows what's an FAQ. Don't give me this, guys. I know you guys are so intelligent. What's an FAQ, guys? Come on. Nobody's responding. Youngsters, it's nothing but frequently asked question. FAQ stands for frequently asked question. Now you guys type in and let me know, my dear friends, what is the most frequently asked question in an interview? Come on, go ahead and let me know, guys. Come on. What is the most frequently asked question in an interview? You guys are totally aware, I know that. Can you share that particular question? Okay, Sridhar says, introduce yourself. Tell me about yourself. This is the most common one. Do you all agree? I'll tell you, my dear friends, with my experience. Okay, Tom, Dick, and Harry. That means anybody. They'll start off. Pravalika, thanks for giving those questions. Okay, the most common question is the one which I'm discussing right now. Okay, we'll look into it, Pravalika, all the types of questions which can be asked, how best you should answer, all of which I'll give it to you guys. Okay, I'll tell you the typical response which the HRs have listened to and they're not that happy these days. For example, introduce yourself. Tell me about yourself. Look at the ways that they can ask the same question in multiple ways. Run through your profile. Listen to these words. Run through your profile. Then just go across your profile. They'll put it across like this, guys. Okay. Don't get confused. It's all to do with your self-introduction or share about yourself. Okay. And all that. Okay. Now listen to me, my dear friends. What is the typical answers? What I'll give it to you first. My name is so and so. I'm coming from so and so place. I'm currently pursuing so and so. Okay. What are the uh, degree what they go through? I'm currently pursuing so and so. My short-term plan is this. My long-term plan is to become the head of blah blah whatever. They simply go with a particular let's say format, if you ask me. Okay, and that format is totally outdated, my friends. Listen to me, guys. Totally outdated. And HRs hate to listen to such typical okay uh, introductions without any content in it. Listen to me, guys. No content at all. One cannot come, let's say, in the sense like it did not even tickle any, I mean, HR's funny bones, please, if you ask me. Okay. So with no content in it, how do you expect a person to select you guys for the job? Okay, this is where I really want you youngsters to give a fair thought. Give a fair thought about what I'm telling you right now, guys. Okay. If you're there as an HR, if you ask somebody, tell me about yourself, and the person gave you least information about themselves, all common information is what people have given out there. What's the probability of selection that person will have? Almost nothing. Again, that's what I'm saying. Have a serious content in your presentation about yourself. Please understand. Tell me about yourself is a presentation about yourself. Okay. And you'll have to make sure your presentation is nice and worthwhile listening to. And there's some definite content in it and all that is what the HRs should realize. Keep this in mind, my dear friends. Okay. And now I've given you the typical opening in in a HR interview and all that. Okay. Now listen to me, guys. I'll give you with the logic first. The logic is, okay, I want you to listen to this one so carefully. HRs will select a person, okay, 80% of the selections, rather, I'll take it this way, 80% of the selections by the HR can happen in the first 20 seconds. In the first 20 seconds. Look at the importance of creating a mindset about you. Okay, I'm not joking. You can check with any HR if you want. Okay, they may not reveal it to you immediately, but then this is a fact. Okay, the moment they ask you a question, tell me about yourself. Why have you chosen our organization? Okay, what made you come for the interview? Such questions. You start with a bang. I said start with a bang answer. I call it as a bang answer. Okay, not the traditional, answer which they are already bugged up listening to in number of times and all that. So this is where I'm coming in strong and I'm trying to give you a different perspective because I'm also recruiting people. Okay, so what can make my attention to be grabbed and all that. Okay, so I'm trying to look into those terms. Okay, they say first impression is the best impression. Well begin is half done. That's all, always there for us to have a good opening. Impressive opening is what I'm trying to say. Guys, even in cricket, when the opening partnership goes well, now think about Sanju Samson in our World Cup. We had greater chances of winning a game. Okay. So give a good, okay, let's say importance to your opening of a of your introductions and all that. Please pay your attention, my youngsters. Look at this one. I'm going to give you this way. Listen to me. I'm not saying my name is blah blah blah. That is something from KG classes onwards until UG or PG, whatever you do. We've been answering it that way, my youngsters. Rather, okay, I want you guys to not to ever start with myself. No, myself. I've seen still people are introducing themselves as myself. Okay. Now, if you guys are doing myself, it's like this myself, Anand. Do you know I'm the Don? That's what the kind of, people can understand you that way. Never ever start with myself. It also sounds so narcissistic and all that. That means you're so self possessed and all that. Okay. You admire yourself so much. Never do that, my dear friends. Always, I would appreciate if you guys can go with I'm so and so. Do you understand? Okay. Start like that, my dear friends. Okay, still pay your good attention here. Let's say I'm Anand, a budding professional in the field of data science. You can start like that. A budding professional in the field of data analytics or data science, whatever. Okay. Now I've given a statement out here. I'm a budding, emerging, okay, fast developing professional in the field of coding. You understand? I'm starting like that. Okay. I'll give you another one. Listen to me, guys. Okay. um, the role what they ask for, we can start off like that. A budding, okay, a true engineer. Listen to these words. A true mechanical engineer who can understand the machine so practically in and out. Do you understand? We start off like this, which can grab their attention. Okay, I'll give you much more. I really want you to pay attention. Listen up, my dear friends. I'm Anand, who firmly believes in deep anything. Look at, I'm giving you my belief system here. Deep anything is what I said. Okay, guys, please observe. These are well thought about words, not simply given just like that. Who believes in deep anything? For example, if I do a project, I'll immerse myself so deep in that particular project. I'll make sure a right or the feasible outcome can be derived with all systems in place. That shows, okay, you are so careful in doing a particular project. I said take this for deep work. Okay, when I go to work, I'm so sure I can work myself so well. Okay, and take it that way, guys. Okay, so deep anything is what I said. If I learn anything so deep. I don't do superficial learning just on the grassroots. No, I go deep and I learn so in and out of it so that I know the concept so well and I can handle any kind of a problems arises of it. Do you understand? I'm trying to give an explanation why I use the term deep anything. Okay. And even if I have, let's say, I'm just giving you one more example. Even if I have relationships with people around. I make sure that they realize the importance I give it to them, okay, as such, so that people can understand I'm a people manager. Do you understand how am I connecting overall? Okay, I'm good in, okay, I'm associating myself as a good people manager because I can understand emotions of people and I can give and I can transact words accordingly. We can even say it that way. Listen up. These are the multiple ways that I've given you to open yourselves up and all that. Okay. I'll give you another one. Anand, that's me. Okay. Anand is a self-disciplined, self-motivated person who looks for keen sense for data. Okay. Have a keen eye for details. Look at what I'm trying to share with you guys. Okay. Keen sense for data, keen sense for details. Even if I do any task, I'll make sure I give good details into it so that I can give better output than others. You can state it that way. There's nothing wrong. Okay. Another way of opening my reference. Okay. I'm Anand. Okay. Who has got a clear mindset of listen to me, how to deal with projects, as I have done project management as a certification, and I can scale up. I can discuss with the stakeholders about project related, okay, let's say information, okay, right from employees to senior people to the clients to the customers in in through interpersonal skills of mine. Do you understand? So I'm projecting myself. I'm almost there for you to look out for selections and all that. Okay, guys, I'm not mincing words out here. I want you guys to observe the choice of words that I'm using. Okay, and these are the finest examples that I can give you in terms of how to open up when you are giving your interview, my friends. I really want you guys to refrain by by opening up. My name is this. I'm coming from here. I'm studying this. I did not even say that, my dear guys. I was straight. I was hitting the right tunes of the HR. Okay, for them to show a greater interest in my candidature. Okay, so I'm starting off with the right note, is what I'm saying. I want you guys to, okay, please understand what I'm trying to teach you all and try to take it so practically. Work out, my dear friends. I'm saying work out a good opening. Okay, now the task is I want you guys to prove yourself, okay, and prove yourself with a good opening statement about you guys. Okay, it can be a belief system, it can be the skill or the work, what it's asked from your end little later and all that. Think about that and try to give a good answer, my difference. You can start with I'm, okay, a person who totally believes in something like that, who firmly believes in, who's got a good perspective towards any project because the skills developed, you can connect that way. And guys, don't even say I'm currently pursuing. That is called as a redundancy error. I've seen multiple times with freshers, they say this, I'm currently pursuing. Guys, both words currently pursuing means at this point of time. Don't you ever use two words, same meaningful words being used next to each other. That shows you're not understanding something called as, okay, that is useless. One of which is useless. That's called as redundancy, my dear friends. Okay. So try not to do it. No redundancy errors, please, when you speak in front of the HR. Now, the task I'm giving it to you is that, my friends, how do you think you can open up? Remember the first 20 seconds. How can you make it in a beautiful way? How can you start off with your opening, my friends? That's what I'm asking you as a question. I wish you understood that and I want some response. Take 2 or 3 minutes. I'm happy. But make sure you guys are responding, my friends. I'm just having a look at Saranya's okay way of introducing herself. She did it okay all by herself. I can see that. Others, I really want you all to please have a strong opening, an impressive opening. Okay, go through that, please. I'm waiting for your responses. Do a good job, guys. Transportation, warehousing, distribution, or new assignments is fine. A short-term goal is to gain practical experience in a reputed organization. Guys, I really want you all to refrain from using the word company. Use it as organization. Okay, keep this in mind. The long-term goal is to grow into a responsible position in the logistics field. Thank you. Okay, Saranya, this is again quite typical, is what I felt when I read your response. But thanks for taking this volunteership here. Okay, I told you, Saranya, don't start off with my name is. It's better to say I'm Saranya, an aspiring, listen to my words, an aspiring logistics management specialist. Look at this one, logistics management specialist. Okay. Now, you've written, I've completed my undergraduation in BSc Computer Science and all of that. Okay. I think you can ignore that at this point of time. So that when the moment you say about logistics management specialist, immediately you quit the next sentence. I have a strong interest. Okay. I have a strong interest in logistics operations, supply chain management, and inventory control is what you have written down. I like that. It's connecting to the logistics management specialist, something of that kind. So please have it that way. You ignore the basic computer science part of it. Okay. Listen, during my studies, okay, during academics is a better word. Listen to this one. I have gained, more than saying I have gained. I've had hands-on experience working in projects such as warehousing, distribution management. Take it that way, Saranya. Okay. And now you can connect. Now you're doing it rightly. Okay. So I did my projects and internships based on those areas. You can express that. It'll be so good. Okay. Since I'm a computer, an undergraduate from computer science, I'm strong in, listen to me, IT skills such as documentation, because in logistics, documentation matters a lot. Okay. I'm strong in documentation, vendor management, or client management. Okay. You can express those points out here. Okay. And yes, I'm good in handling data as well because I've done data analytics, whatever. You can add up those. Okay. And which helps in understanding modern logistics systems. I like the way you concluded there. Okay, I'm sincerely working, for example, I'm working on improving my communication, analytical reasoning, you missed that word, and problem solving skills. And now you're saying I'm a quick learner, adaptable, and always ready to take up new challenges. Okay. I wish you can even start like this as well, Saranya. Saranya is an efficient learner because I've seen many people using the word quick learner. Okay, now nobody can give a good answer. How quick are they in terms of learning? So try to avoid that quick learner. Say Saranya is an efficient learner, highly adaptable, not just adaptable, highly adaptable to any projects assigned. Look at the words I'm using. Okay, because you can connect there if you want, because I've been exposed to projects and internships wherein I've handled, okay, customers and clients in such a manner so I can be very well adaptable to any projects involved. Okay. And I'm willing to take up new challenges approaching in work. I can definitely give a better outcome than most others because I have relevant experience. I have relevant experience during my stint as an intern and all that. I'm still connecting that way. Okay. And don't say short term and long term goal, my dear friends. It's an old thing, guys. Try to avoid that completely. Certainly, you as will try to avoid that. Okay. And Fine. I'm still observing. Is there anybody else who had given your introductions? Fine, Sandra, that's my true feedback to you. Okay. But I would appreciate a decent conclusion. I'm telling you, my dear friends, I'm telling you honestly, 99.7 to 8 percentage of people will not do a proper conclusion when they do their self introductions. Take my word. I've seen always people somewhere lying in the middle and they'll expect the HRs to understand they've completed their introductions and all that. No, please do a strong conclusion as well. I'll teach you that in a while. Guys, I've seen only Saranya has responded so far. How about others, my dear friends? I really want you guys to respond so well because I know I always believe in, listen to this, my dear friends, applied learning. Whatever you're learning, apply it then and there and try to showcase your skills. That shows you're an efficient learner again here. Come on, youngsters. Go ahead. I'll teach you about the conclusion a little later. And I'll also discuss few of other commonly asked questions. I'll also teach you some couple of techniques to handle interview questions as well. These are the things which is going to come up. So please pay a good attention, guys. Come on. Can somebody give it a try about your introductions? I've given various ways to introduce yourselves. All right, come on. Is there anybody who's challenging? I'm giving out a challenge to you guys. I give a lot of examples of how to open up than the traditional, okay, opening up. Don't try it again. I want you guys to please open up. Somebody give it a try, guys. One more try. At least one of you guys. Come on. Start with your opening statement. Come on. I'm still waiting for some of you to respond. Youngsters, come on. Give a good, okay, outcome here, guys. Come on. The best way to express gratitude is not saying thank you to me, guys. Applying yourselves and trying to come out with flying colors, my youngsters. Come on. Somebody give it a try, guys. Come on. Quick. Guys, come on. I need a quick response at your end, my dear friends. One of you guys. If you want, I can pick your names, but I want you guys to be, I don't want to be that, demanding out here. Any one of you guys, give it a go, guys. Saranya gave a good reply. I gave my feedback. Similarly, one of you can still take it. Come on, youngsters. Saranya Saran. Thanks. Yeah. Is there anybody who can challenge me now, guys? I want you to be challenging out here. Guys, I'll tell you, this can help you a lot. I'll wait for the next 30 seconds, my friends, for you all to respond. I want you guys to be so responsive towards what you do. Ekanta, you want to know opening statement is one of the structure? No, that can give you a bang opening, my friend. When I say bang, it can be so impressive. When you see, guys, it has to be impressive. It just can't be so dull. That's why I want you to make it bit more aggressive. I want you guys to come out with words where when you use and state it in front of a person, it should hit them strong. Hey, this is the person that I want to deploy in my projects, in the organization's projects and all that. Thanks for your question, Ekanta. And how about others? Do you guys have any questions on it? You can still raise it. I said for 30 seconds. I think I waited for more than 30 seconds. Okay, hardly any response. I'm a bit disappointed, but I want you guys to be more challenging. Now, listen to me, my dear friends. when you start off so well and you continue that impression throughout your introduction, tell me about yourself. I would ideally request you all to start with the way that I've started and connect. Why have you chosen, let's say, supply chain management? Or why have you chosen data science? Why have you chosen commerce? Okay. State it with a good reason, my dear friends. For example, ever since my childhood, listen to me, money always fascinated me like anything, because when you go with good amount of money you gain a good confidence by default. Okay, so money gives that particular confidence. So I've always felt finance is an area that I should be involved myself in to understand the nitty gritty things about finance. So I want to become a financial, let's say, analyst. Okay, how to analyze finance in a good manner and come out with reports upon it. So I'm trying to connect that way, guys. I start with the opening bang, and I'm giving a clear idea why have I carefully chosen, okay, let's say MBA finance, for example, over any other specialization. So that's why I have carefully chosen this as my, since childhood money has always fascinated me and all that. We can connect that way. Computers, if you guys have chosen computers, computer science, computer and its applications, I've always observed have created a lot of impact on any country and its economy. And I want to see myself as a computer specialist to implement, listen to me, to implement systems, or to develop, let's say, software to control uncontrollables. Look at my words, to control uncontrollables. You can take it off that way, my dear friends. Now, look, if I'm a HR, I'm listening to all these things. That shows clearly that you can think on your own and you can express so clearly what you want to express. Give that particular aspect in a good manner, my dear friends. Now I'm moving on, my dear friends. I told you I'll teach you a couple of strategies. The first one, I call it as ask. When a question is asked to you guys, think on the ASK. A stands for, listen to me, guys, attitude. I want you to pay attention. S stands for skills, and K stands for knowledge. I want you guys to look into this one pretty strong. Any question asked by a HR, you can actually put it across in those three areas. It's a combination of those or a particular aspect of it. It is based on these three areas a question is asked. You ask me any question, my friends, we can classify that. For example, why should I select you is testing your attitude through skills, if you ask me. Okay. uh why do you want to join our organization? You should know the knowledge about the organization. Okay, and what skills will matter to join that particular company. Look at, I can't go beyond this ASK. Please observe. Tell me about yourself, all three. Introduce yourselves, all three put together. You have to give a superb answer. Okay, so this strategy always works. Any question asked, I want you to remember, it'll revolve around these three aspects. Okay, so be wise in understanding the question and reply it in a manner that if you go slice it this way, you can definitely give a better answer than anybody else, my youngsters. Okay, ask is the first strategy which I want you all to remember. If they ask you any situation based question, I want you to observe, guys. I'll do that. Situation based question. I want you youngsters to stick on to a particular strategy. We call it as star. Yeah, we call it as star. Did you guys ever come across this particular star strategy, guys? Ask. I'm sure many of you wouldn't have. Okay. I want to know whether have you ever come across this particular strategy called as star? Can I get a quick answer? Have you guys ever heard about this particular terminology called as star technique in answering an interview question, especially on based on situations? Tell me yes or no, my dear friends. I'll answer you. If somebody's answering situation, task, action, and result. Perfect. When you're exposed to a situation, for example, let's say you have a team working for you. In a sense, I shouldn't say working for you or working under you and all that. Okay. You have a team, okay, working in a particular project. Okay. And there's a problem there, for example. I'll give you the problem. Okay. That's the situation. Okay. Um, this time, let's say one of your teammate, okay, is excellent in terms of working, but has a very poor attitude. Poor attitude, okay, but good in work. But excellent, not just good, excellent in work. How do you handle such a person? This is a traditional question which was asked by HRs for so long. Now, the situation is this, okay? What are the tasks to be taken? What are the tasks that we have to do? And what is the action to be taken? What will be the end result? That's exactly star. Okay. Now, this is a question I'm raising out to anyone out here. You have a team member who's so good in work. Compared to anybody, that person is the best. But the attitude of that particular person is so poor. How do you deal with such a person? Can you all answer this, my dear friends? Anybody can give it a go. And let me know how do you handle such a situation. I hope you understood. For example, this person is not reporting on time, unlike others, and leaves early back home. But when you question the person, that person can even answer, I've completed my work. That's what matters. So please look out for others who are spending so much of time and they still don't complete the job. This is an attitude, my dear friends. Some employees can have this. How do you deal with such an attitude? Is my question. Situation based question. Who can answer this? You can type in your answer. Let's see who can take it up in a good manner. Quick, youngsters, come on. Yes. Who wants to take it up? This question. And how do you respond like a star? Understand the gravity of the situation? And how do you respond with tasks and actions to bring out a result? I know that I'm making you all to apply more. Okay, give it a guys, come on. I don't know why you guys are so dull today. I really don't want you guys to be in this particular zone. Okay, guys, I want you to listen up, youngsters. I think you guys need much more time to really come out with a good answer. Okay, let me see whether anybody else who wants to give a try for a while. Guess behavioral based, situation based questions can also be asked. Okay, so this is a typical example I've given you. Um, is anybody who's responding is what I'm still observing. I can't see anybody doing it up. Okay, now you guys listen to me. Now, to handle such people with poor attitude, you'll have to sit across the table and because that person is reporting to you. Call this particular person. I want everything to be documented. Mail it. Am I clear, guys? Mail it to the particular person asking for a one-on-one chat. One-on-one chat. Saranya Saran. Balanced performance plus attitude equals success is what you have written down there. Okay. I'll get back to that. Okay. Because this my question is more particular. Okay. When people have poor attitude, make sure that that those guys understand such an attitude can't be accepted no matter you're a top performer. Make sure, okay. I've seen typically a assistant manager or a supervisor or a manager. Sometimes they don't even question such people, top performers. When they show poor attitude, they don't ask them a question. But I'm telling you, my dear friends, please listen to me. You should always believe in systems in place. It should create, listen to me, systems in place should create top performers. You don't bend for a top performer. Listen to this one. Okay. Why? It matters, my dear friends. When people start to observe poor attitude is accepted, other employees can catch up that like a virus. Okay, hey, you're doing, you are partial to that particular person and you are shouting at us, okay, and all of that. People will come out asking for such questions and all that. Make sure, my dear friends, first, that's why I'm saying people with negative attitude or poor attitude, deal with them at the earliest. I want you, I said, document everything. I said, document everything. Okay, you asked for a one-on-one chat. Okay, after that particular chat is over, what was agreed? Listen to me. What was agreed? Both ways. Document it and write an email, keeping the HR in the loop as well. Listen, I'll tell you, when you keep HRs or higher officials in the loop, people will automatically understand this is taken a little serious. Okay, and they try to respond. Okay, my whole word is you should, if you're working as a senior in any organization, there should be systems in place which should produce, okay, let's say top performers. And it's not like one-off top performer and we should bend for them and all that. That's what I'm saying. Okay, shoot a mail across to all the people, the important people who can be involved in this particular, let's say it's an issue still. Okay, and try to make sure, give a good word before that particular person leaves. The organization always looks out for good performers with a beautiful, with the right attitude. I use the word called as right attitude for future, let's say, um, promotions and all that. I use the word future promotions. Okay. So when somebody is a good performer and they have a nice attitude, they are the best candidates to be promoted. So here, sometimes I mean, tell them very clearly. Sometimes I've seen you coming late, leaving early. Do you understand? And you raise questions to the supervisor or the manager. Okay, why don't you question others and all that? No, they're not coming late. They're not going early. You're doing it. So we need to ask you a question. Okay. And there are virtualized more than the realized. There are virtualized where the management is looking at, okay, people's behavior through, they sometimes they do it through CCTV cameras and all that. Okay. So everything can be looked into it for your future promotions. Try and organize yourselves if you want to really have a positive growth in the organization. So as as an immediate boss to you, this is what I rightly suggest you. And once you speak this one up, let the person go off and please document it in a particular mail asking the person to send a reply accepting what we discussed. Am I clear? This is the way that I want you all to take it up. Okay, because some people they say, hey, you do not say anything in front of your top manager or vice president or president, whatever. Now we have a documentation to show, hey, come on so and so date, you did it. Okay. And again, if the person is doing the same old stuff, okay, you gently warn them. I said, you gently warn them. So far, no warning. So far, it's only suggestions. Now, gently warn them. Okay. Hey, I've said you already. I mean, the organization is looking out for a good, let's say, performer like you I mean, to be considered for the future promotions. And you're still not doing any improvements. You've been doing the same thing again and again. And if this is going to happen, the organization may not look into you with interest. Please understand and try to reorganize your thoughts and try and not don't come late for organization. I mean, for reporting for work and all that. Tell them clearly on the face. Okay. Again, document it. I'm saying again, document it. This time, warning given for so and so person for indiscipline. Try to document that way. Okay. Now, if this person again does it that way, recommend to the HR for, let's say, not for termination, it's a big word. Okay. For suspension, if they really get to do that. I'm serious about this. I'm not joking. You are systematic this way. If this person is repeating it time and again, second, okay, mail on recommending second suspension. Guys, when somebody receives second suspension, that's equal to termination. And the next thing what will follow is termination. When an employee is terminated from an organization, listen to me, my dear friends, it's very tough for them to get another employment because these days they do verification with the previous employer. And such a person who had showed attitude, never changed, had a poor attitude and all that, no other concern will offer them an offer letter because when the verification is done, those people may not be giving a good response. I'm talking about the previous organizations will not give a good response. So be more systematic, document everything. Okay, take it forward that way, my dear friends. Remember, my youngsters, Prithvi Shaw as a cricketer had such a problem and he was expelled from Indian cricket team. It's not talent which matters, it is talent managed with the right attitude matters a lot. Okay, try to understand that way, guys. Any other question asked? For example, why should I select you? Have the right skills to scale up in the organization, in the projects which can be deployed. I can give the best output compared to others. So I have the right eligibility criteria. I've gone through all your eligibility criteria. Now I have developed, now, not now, I have developed, okay, listen to me, work centric skills so that I can do a wonderful job in when I'm offered a job and all that. Guys, you think about any tough question, again, talk with skills, the right attitude, with the knowledge base that you have. You can be so attractive in the way that you can answer and all that. Okay. I also promised you, I'll also teach you how to conclude, my friends. This, I hope you guys listen to me so well. At the end of your tell me about yourself, I want you guys to conclude so well. For example, having acquired, listen to me, having acquired the knowledge, skills, and abilities to handle coding projects, for example. Okay. I'm eager. I'm definitely willing. Check out my words. Look at the positivity in it. I'm definitely willing and I'm equally eager to join the world of work. Look at the way I'm ending it up. Okay. To join the world of work because whatever I learned so far in the academics, I've developed skills, I developed knowledge, all for applying it in real time on work. I'm eager and I'm willing to deploy it, okay, and to produce. Listen to this. You can still add and to produce efficient results in the projects that I'm involved and the outcome expected of the organization. State it like that. And now you can prove the ball is in the HR's court. So keep it that way, my dear friends. I hope you listened to me so well. Okay. And I'm sure you learned it good as well today. And with this, we'll conclude our session today. We've done big time upon professional writing. There is email writing we'll discuss today. And we learned certain parts of it, definitely. And also, we also looked into how to answer to interview questions. I taught you 2 techniques and frequently asked questions were discussed as well. And we'll discuss a little bit more tomorrow as well, a little. And then we look into some technical learning. Thank you so much for your time. And I really again tender my apologies for this internet issues that I faced. I hope I don't want to face it again as well. This is the first time ever I'm going through such an issue. So thank you so much. Have a pleasant day. I mean, night ahead, guys. I'm sorry. Take care, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good night. We'll meet again by tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. We'll meet by tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone.